You ever just feel so small? Look at that. That's insane. I am a big fan of living in Utah. I'm not a huge fan of when it's cold and there's no snow. If there's snow, you can do stuff. I'm getting pelted with snow. Totally worth it. That's so good. What's up guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name's Stefan, and today we're doing the very first test drive of all the cars that I'm looking at. So again, recap, looking at a C8 Corvette, an R35 GTR, a 2020 Supra, or possibly an R8, like a V1 R8. So let's see how good you are at it. Can you guess the car just by looking at the key? Let's see, I think this works like, a little something like that. This car is so loud. I love the color on this stripe. You can see it coming from a mile away. So I'm essentially looking at 4 cars in total. I've got 2 older cars, the GTR and the Audi R8, and then I've got 2 new cars, the C8 Corvette and the 2020 Supra. So obviously there's pros and cons to each. So with the newer cars, we're obviously gonna have a more reliable setup. And that's all subjective. I mean, depending on what we end up doing to the car, there's also the warranty to consider, but you know, we're gonna avoid the warranty. So this actually isn't the first 2020 Supra that I've ever driven. I've only actually ever driven heavily modified Supras. So I've driven 3 Pandem wide body Supras with bigger turbos, exhaust tune, all that kind of stuff, and they're buck wild. This car is relatively close to stock. Most of the mods are exterior, so exactly what you see. We've got the carbon fiber wing here. We've got these carbon fiber door panel inserts. And then under the hood, I was just told that it has an intake, which is right here. So the 2020 Supra is running an inline 6-cylinder manufactured by BMW and a twin scroll single turbo setup, but boy does it pack a punch, even in stock form or close to stock form. So he's got the intake on there, which you can hear. There's quite a bit more like turbo noises and stuff, but the car pulls hard. Some of the other Supras that I drove, one of the funnest games to play was see how many BMW logos you can find. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not that you needed any convincing, it's just funny. We better put this thing back on. So one thing that Toyota picked up from BMW, which is very much in their favor, interiors are just bougie. Honestly, so much nicer than any Toyota interior I've ever seen. I love this cockpit. This gauge cluster is just super sick. It shows you the speed limit down there. We're not gonna need that. For legal reasons, that was a joke. We're gonna go and throw it into sport mode, manual, so we can use these guys, and we're off. Oh my gosh. That sounds so good. You can hear the turbo so much better with that intake. The ridiculous thing about my car shopping process and just how my mind works is that it's like always the last car that I drive. So the last car that I drove yesterday was a GTR. And so I was like, oh yeah, I want a GTR. That sounds super fun. And oh, we got a dip coming. Easy, easy. So yeah, yesterday was the GTR because I drove that last. Now I'm in the Supra and it's like, oh, now I just want a Supra. So the GTR and the Supra are the 2 obvious JDM choices. And I say JDM loosely. I understand this car is basically a BMW. The GTR is a lot more of a JDM car, but anyway, you know what I mean. Just don't light me up in the comment section below. So I feel like to kind of narrow it down, I need to pick between the GTR and the Supra first. So the GTR is kind of an issue because like prices are kind of inflated, whereas you can get a 2020 Supra for exactly what it books for. Something like this, I mean, a car like a 2020, maybe like 10 to 15,000 miles, you're gonna pay exactly what it's worth, which is about 47, 48,000. Oh, this guy's bummed. What's up, dude? So yeah, GTR's low inventory, high demand, and GTR that's like a good deal will go pretty quickly. So trying to convince the bank that there's an inventory issue and that people are just kind of charging more, because I am financing the car. Like I'm totally transparent about that. I'm not made of money. I need to finance the car, so. This car just pulls so hard. So obviously the Supra is not the fastest of the bunch, but I feel like the more out of control a car is, like the faster it feels. Like the more like I feel like I'm gonna die, like it feels faster. But convincing the bank to give me a loan for the GTR that's being sold for more than what it technically books at is kind of like trying to get free guac at Chipotle. It's just like, chances are slim. Can we just take a minute to appreciate the noises that this car makes? Oh my gosh, I don't know if you can hear that. The intake is so loud. Seriously, why is there something so fun about a car that is like, just makes you feel out of control? And that orange is just seriously so sick. I would highly consider getting something like this. Loud colors aren't usually my style, but I can get on board with this.
Tuesday. I got food up in the fridge. Y'all keep looking for that new wave. I think I like it how it is.
Okay, so a list of pros and cons. On the pros, the Supra comes in at about 300 horsepower, a little over 300 horsepower. Tips and scales at about 3,400 pounds, so no slouch, and they're actually pretty easy to get up to, I think, about 500 horsepower with just a few simple mods. On the bad side, it comes with these goofy vents. I don't know what they were thinking. About 10 of those fake vents all over the car, and it probably has more BMW logos on it than Toyota logos. List all the pros and cons you want, but it looks good. It looks really good. But on that note, we gotta get this back to David. Oh, what? Oh, he's trying to get some. Okay, pal. You already know the car doesn't belong to us. We gotta hook a homie up. About the G-Wagon, I think they're kind of overrated. David, bro, you're the man.
Thanks,
that's
boss.
for you.
I appreciate
You got a full
that.
tank of gas.
Oh man, I
Homie.
needed that too.
Dude.
Thank you.
Dude, thanks for letting me drive
Yeah,
it.
no, of course, man. Whatever you need.
Do you have any plans for it?
For this, not
Yeah.
as of right now. I'm gonna let the warranty run in for a bit before I start doing anything.
That's smart.
So.
That's smart. We're not gonna do that. For legal reasons, that was a joke. Okay, so here's this. Okay, if you had to convince me to get one car, what would you pick?
You
You might be a little biased.
So this is actually for the value, the price. I would say this.
Oh,
It gives you
100%.
So much for the price that it is.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I like the congruency too between, I mean, we got the Toyota. It'd be nice to have a garage full of Toyotas. There's something to that. Back in the boring taco. There she goes. Man, it looks good. I seriously love that color. I would consider doing something kind of crazier like that for the next car. I don't know, we'll see. That was a genuine thought. I really like the idea of having just like all Toyotas in the garage. That'd be kind of cool. But that's all I have for today's video. If you haven't already, please be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know what car you think I should get and why, because I'm kind of torn. I mean, obviously the Supra was the last car that I drove, so that's the car that I want as of right now. Tomorrow, I'm sure that'll change, so you gotta help me out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the bell, and on that note, I'll see you in the next video.